Yeah, Janelle Monet.
Janelle Monet.
Victoria and Janelle.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's like y'all knew who I was talking about, though. Y'all knew who.
You know that.
Ended.
Right.
What's her name? What's her name from Dreamgirls and that TV show Cheryl Lee Ralph? You know how they always
Oh
have
yes,
her,
and
yes.
Elementary.
saying
Yeah,
it's a white
that
person's
is
name,
it.
but she gives him a black name, but she means a white person.
yeah.
And she said Michelle
Tommy Lee
Williams, and it
Jones.
meant-
You know
it meant
Tommy Tommy Lee Jones. You know he was good. I'm like,
You know what the hell I meant.
hey community, here's what's brewing today.
10 years of Native Son Awards.
Song of the summer.
And ask your aunties, you, me, and he. So get your cups ready for Minority Report. Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It is Auntea Kerel.
It's Auntea Dawon.
And it's Auntea Jerrell. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Hello.
I've been, that just made, I don't know why I just did that. It made me think of Victoria Monét. I've been seeing all her clips on the Bruno Mars tour right now.
Oh, baby.
She looks
And
so fucking good. So
It reminded me
fucking
of when I
good.
saw her 3 years ago. And I was like, I came back on the podcast and I was like, I will never see her again at a small venue ever again like that. And she is.
Now she opening for Bruno.
Baby, she a dancer.
Yeah.
She a dancer.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is.
She's
Do
a
you
dancer.
think she carries that same energy in real life, or is this like a Sasha Fierce moment? Because she gives a lot of energy on, like she be dancing on tables, chandeliers, bouncing off the walls, doing all kinds, Do you think she has that much energy in real life, or do you think that's a Sasha Fierce
I
moment
think it
where
might
she
be
turns
kind
it
of
on
a
for
little
the stage?
Sasha Fierce-ish kind of moment where, because she kind of talks so soft like this and things like
Yes.
that.
It reminds me
And
of
then she
Janet
get on
Jackson
stage.
a lot. It reminds me of Janet a
Yeah.
lot. She's very
It is more of a
soft-spoken,
Janet.
but she can hit an A count
Yeah.
hard. And
Hard.
and you would be like, oh shit, let me go ahead and learn this too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sean-
Like somehow, I just imagine, like,
You want her to be
girl,
hood,
can you
don't
give me
you?
something to eat from the refrigerator? And she's like,
All right.
just have energy for. I'm sorry, y'all.
She got her over here voguing and moonwalking to the refrigerator
Right.
like,
Yeah, for those,
"Go
right.
ahead. You
For
want
the community
these?
who
I got
are
some apples
watching
for you."
this on YouTube. This is an episode you probably wouldn't be watching on YouTube because there's a lot of animations going on here. But every time, like, baby, I'm just gonna get up. You laying in bed, with her, and she's like, let me just go to the bathroom real quick. She'd get up and do backflips, roll around on the
Right.
floor, choreography just to get the 10 steps from the bed. Like, this is the energy that she exudes for me.
The one want her to
And
be
she's
doing the
giving
MC
herself
Hammer
like
in and
a-
out of the room like, can't touch this. She leaves.
Come on.
I mean, but tell me that doesn't track though.
Honestly, though,
I mean,
real
'cause
talk,
she do
that
be
would
dancing
funny.
that hard, you
That would be
right.
funny ass shit if that's how she actually ends up being.
Like, that's an SNL skit.
Yeah.
And Sean done gave her a new 8 count out there, and not even 8 count, it was like a good 16. And she got her like
it's double time.
And then they gave her like a little Dubai, like the Beyonce Dubai run, like for the All Right too. They're calling it the Victoria Dubai run. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm loving it. And it just, and then it just makes me just, and this was not on the list community, already side tangent already from the jump, but it just makes me upset. And I understand why she wasn't out here like she was going to, because she just had a lot of life going on behind the scenes. But it just makes me think Normani, that was like the Normani lane. And we can have multiple folks in that lane. So don't just say it's just not one.
yeah.
But like she was on that trajectory to kind of do similar things. And now she has Sean, now Victoria has Sean behind her. And that was like Normani's kind of like main choreographer. So it's just like, I just hope Normani gets that steam. And I've kind of seen her doing little festivals this summer, like clips popping up too. And she's still eating. But it's just like, damn. So I kind of almost like want like a Victoria and like a Normani to do something together, because I think it would just be like eating down to the bone, to the gristle. Like they just, because they're both just like dancers.
That would
you
be
know?
sexy. That would be sexy.
Oh my God.
You know what? If I could see it being just as hot as when Kelly Rowland did that Commander video, and it's just two of her going back and forth.
Yeah.
Now imagine Normani and Victoria doing something very similar, like from that Commander. That would be sexy. It would be,
and you just know that it's just gonna be impeccable because they they hit the they ain't lazy with their 8 count. Like they gonna hit that shit. So so when I see her, I'm like, damn, I need some Normani.
But that just goes to show though, the power of a team behind you though. Like when you don't have the right people behind you, they will fumble the fuck out of you, and that's what they did to Normani. Because there's no reason why her singles hit as hard as they did, and they waited 2-3 years before the actual full album came out, and then was like, well, here's these songs on that album, as if we were going to want the album when we already had the singles. And I really don't like that strategy that a lot of these labels are doing, taking these singles and putting it on there. That doesn't make the album better. We already had that. There needs to be that and something else, right? So
they're trying to fumble. They're trying to like finagle the numbers with that. With that,
and
strategy.
I hate that. Yeah, chasing those numbers is just not it. I mean, I like Kehlani's new album, but I feel like they kind of did that with Folded a little bit. Like, I
don't think Kehlani knew that Folded was going to blow up the way it did. She's like, I got this cute song. But then she's like, oh shit, hold on, let me hurry up here and make an album.
This Kehlani album is a true R&B album. Like it's good. Like it's good, and it's for us. Like the white people ain't listening to Kehlani album. Except for my friend Dan. I know my friend Dan, who's probably listening to this. He's probably the one white person I know.
He said, I am.
Right, I am. But it's really for us, the people who actually like R&B. But I mean, like, it's just, you can just see different teams or different strategies. And I think when you got something, you stick on it and you release the next project, you keep it going.
And the strategy is just to have Sean Bankhead on your team, because anytime he doing some shit, that shit is popping. That shit is fire. Like between Vicky, between Cardi's last tour, Missy all them years, like anything he took. Normani obviously,
Megan
like,
at one point as well too.
Like it's like just get Sean. Just go and get Sean.
The expectations for performance have definitely increased since
Beyonce
has been on the stage.
and Janet. Janet set the bar, and then Beyonce say, "Okay, I got you, bitch. Come on, we
got the
going
blueprints already. We got the Jacksons, we got the Michaels and the Janets, we got the blueprints already, and throw Tina Turner in there as well, and Lil Richard as well, old guard. But the expectations for concert goers is, it's not just, dinner and a show. It's like dinner, show, buy me a Gucci bag. Like they're spending coins for these tickets, which are crazy expensive, and they want a show. They want to make sure the mic is on. They want to make sure that you're hitting the steps. They want to know what the choreography is before they even show up to the concert, because they want to do it too. It's crazy.
I mean, it depends on the artist though, because some of them be given the bare minimum, and people be eating that shit up, and I'm like, bitch, they just gave you water with some ice cubes. What the fuck you mean that was delicious?
Some of them
not even the ice cubes, just lukewarm.
Okay, lukewarm temperature water. Like,
because when it comes to the Lebanese, baby, she can do that. But everybody else,
and that's like 30 years in the game. That's 30 in the year. She already proved herself for
hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit.
Even though I will not be going to see her in person ever again.
I guess I meant the people who don't know, who don't sing, who don't dance, and who don't give stage presentation. Some of them be out there, and I'm like, your records sound way different and way better. Glad I didn't see you.
Did you like Chloe's new mixtape that she put with Tim?
With Timberland? Actually, I like it.
It is pretty cute.
I like it.
It's pretty cute.
It's cute. I feel like it's a little too copy and paste from back then. It didn't feel as original as now as I would have liked it. But it gave me something I feel like I've been missing for a while, which I really enjoyed. And honestly, it actually threw me back, because I know on the list we were talking about songs of the summer. Yeah. It threw me back to listening to Brandy's Full Moon. I've been playing that album out.
Oh, really?
In the last week. I don't know why, but that album.
There's certain songs that come in my gym list all the time from that album.
And I've just been like, damn. I was like, this album the girl was singing. It was good. I'm like, and I feel like I'm finally old enough to appreciate that album too. That's the other thing.
There you go. Yeah. So, hot take from Kerel. Never Say Never might be my favorite one. I might like Never Say Never better than Full Moon. Full Moon is fire, but Never Say Never, like, I feel had the songs that really pushed Brandy into like the stratosphere.
Yeah.
And then Full Moon was very good as well. Like, it was like hard. Like, I remember when Never Say Never came out, I was like, damn, it's gonna be hard for her to like top this.
Was Broken Hearted on that song too, on that album too?
Broken Hearted was on the first one.
Oh, was the first one?
Broken Hearted was on the first one. Yeah.
I do feel I kind of agree with you, Kerel, and just in the sense of when I think of that Never Say Never album, that for me is what cemented kind of the Brandy sound.
Oh, bitch, I was sitting in my room, right? Was that album? Was that?
Sitting on my room was on the way into Excel.
Right, but then they put it on that one too, though, didn't they?
Did they put it on there? I don't know if it's on there. They might have threw it on there, but that's the one that, I mean, it had like her harmonica and stuff like that. So this is like, it's like weirdly when you're like, damn, Brandy's like the pop star, and there's just a lot of great just like R&B tracks on it. But then Full Moon, I get why a lot of people think that's their favorite, just because I feel like Rodney Jerkins really pushed Brandy vocally on that album. And so the vocals might be a tad better on Full Moon than Never Say Never, but I feel like there's some songs on Never Say Never that are stronger than the Full Moon.
Oh yeah,
album.
bitch! I had to pull this back, this track list up. Oh yeah, Almost Doesn't Count, bitch. Everybody was singing that song.
I mean, like Angel in Disguise,
Angel in Disguise,
and
Top
just
of the
think about the whole
Have You Ever
melodic tone of the whole album was just very kind of like. It was so
put that on everything is on there.
You know, like very black and just
good.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
good.
it was.
But Full Moon is very good. Very good. I mean, she had a nice little 4-album run there, like between the first one, Never Say Never, Full Moon, and then Aphrodisiac. All four of those.
I feel like people slept on Aphrodisiac.
Oh, I love me some Aphrodisiac.
I love that album.
I think of TS every time I do that too. TS does that every time she's thinking Brandy. Oh Lord, but anyway, but yeah, that Chloe album was, and there was Tim brought back some sounds, so that's why it was very copy paste, because he brought some sounds back that he hasn't used in forever. That I'm like, oh, I miss these sounds. But like we said, that is on our list. Is there a song of the summer yet though? Like, I feel like the last few summers, it's been a little MIA on like a massive hit in the summer. I have one personally, but I'm curious if they're true.
No, I want to hear yours first. I want to hear yours first.
20s, 50s, 100 cash. Gone for that go, y'all there. Spend that shit. Spend that shit. That's my summer song right there. That's my song of the summer. I don't fucking care what nobody say. That's the song of the summer right there. Come on, Yo Miami. That's my shit.
Some black ass shit, and I love it.
And it's everything. There is probably a song that I cannot relate to. Like, there's the least in that song that I can relate to. Like, I ain't stealing nothing. I ain't putting nothing in no Goyard bag. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't that ratchet. I ain't spending shit on shit. But it's my shit though. I don't know what it is about that damn song. It's ignorant as shit. The rapping ain't even that good. But it's my song of the summer. It's my song of the summer.
I think one thing that's gotten me about that song, and it's probably less about the song, but just how viral it's been, and seeing everyone doing dance to it. Like, even some of the white people be like, spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that. I mean, I've seen and also the amount of straight men that I've seen doing this trend too.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I'm like,
that's how you know it's gone viral, when you see the white dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then now, so I say that now. Ask me in about a month, and I'm probably gonna be like, they done took it over, and I can't enjoy it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shelf life
as they do.
Short.
As they do. Because we can't have nothing. We can't have nothing. Who are they without us?
Shit on nothing. So yeah, that's mine. What's y'all's?
I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't have one.
I have an album.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your album of the summer?
It's that Pride Mix by Tinashe. That DJ Mix Pride album that she has put out. It's actually really good. And it's only 44 minutes, but when I tell you it's remixed so good, I'm like, okay, bitch, I love me some Tinashe. Like, and I feel like she's
I like her new song.
I like her new song as well too. I feel like with Tinashe, I've liked maybe every fourth song that she's done, because she's been out for a while, right? So it's not like hit after hit after hit. It's been like, okay, I like this song. I liked the last song she did in 2022. I probably like the last song she did before COVID. Like,
right, and then like 2 on like 12 years ago.
You know, so like, but this, the way she's remixed all of her songs into this, has really put like a gay pride kind of mix into it, and it actually made me really kind of excited for the rest of Pride Month. I was like, you know what? I want to go to a bar. This is what I want to hear, because it's gay music with words, with lyrics.
Okay.
So yeah, I saw it pop up. Like, I'm looking at it again now. I'll listen to it at the gym the next time.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it.
Yeah, I actually really like it. And I will say, I know Dawon gonna do what she gonna do, but you don't have to put it on shuffle, because it actually really it flows into the next song. So you don't really know
you don't care
that
about
it's
that.
changing the song. I know she don't. I was saying it just to say it. I'm just putting it out there for everybody else. Okay. All I was saying is that it does transition into each song, and it feels
so
like
does
one
Renaissance.
song. Better than Renaissance. Honestly, it does it way better than Renaissance.
And the reality of it is so I've never listened to this, so this is the first time I'm hearing about this mix or whatever. But for me, I will listen to an album straight through the first probably 2 times, and then first time is just like, you know, kind of greasing the wheels, like, oh, do I really, can I really fuck with this? And then the second time is like, okay, you know, I kind of, and if the second time I'm listening to it, I'm still rocking with it, then it's like, okay, boop, repeat, that's it. I don't have to. It's just it's on. But if not, that shit, I'll leave it in there for a while, but then I usually just delete it. Yeah.
It's an album you play getting ready to go before you go out. You play getting ready before you go out. It's not like I'm just walking around, because it's gay music. Like, you really feel like you at like a Progress, you know, or like a Hydrate. Like, it's gay music. So you really do kind of have to set the scene as far as when you're gonna listen to it. I listen to it at 6 o'clock in the morning, because again, it's gay music. So you know it's you know, so you be bopping, you know, you know, but. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, and Tinashe actually hit a nice little 8 count in her video. Right. That cocoa butter.
Every time
Tinashe's always good
I
for
think
a good
about
makeup.
how you put on lotion. I'm like, I ain't doing that shit.
Ever since we had that conversation, it pops up in my head too.
Baby, I will be at the coffee shop, and I'll go use the bathroom, wash my hands, and then like, oh, squirt.
Seriously, it pops up into my head too. I'm like, damn, Jerrell done ruined lotion for
That
me.
earword.
It's like, I don't want to be thinking about my sis right now when I'm rubbing my body.
But that's how you know. That's how you know you real sisters for life.
Right.
When it ain't got nothing to do with whatever it is that you doing, but just something that your girl then said or did that just sticks it like you and me us never fought.
So true. Oh, like, well, community,
I was
let
on
us
an
know.
airplane coming back from Ohio doing family stuff, and you know, Delta has all of these Pride movies on their consoles. Baby, when I'm
What constitutes a Pride movie?
Huh?
What
Gay
constitutes
movies.
a Pride?
Gay-
So, like, is it like
A collection.
Like
let me get to the
like
story.
the B and C
you'll
rolls?
find out what it is.
Okay.
Because you know, when I get on the airplane, I like to
Right.
tune out. I don't want to be bothered. So I have my headphones in. The next thing I know, I look up and I see Tu Wong Fu on this one. I see, what's the other one? Where they're in the desert in Australia.
The desert of Australia.
Yeah, the drag queens where they're in the desert of Australia. And anyway,
I don't know that one.
the community will know that one. And anyway,
Okay, damn.
I'm looking all around, and there's nothing but gay movies all over the place.
Hey.
Birdcage is playing on
Birdcage,
one
okay.
with Robin Williams and, you know, all them. I was just like, this is what I live for.
Like
This is
that's
what
why
I-
you
come
need
on,
some
Delta.
gays up at Delta. You know it's Delta
You know
up
what?
in
It
Atlanta.
was
Got all them
actually-
gays.
It was worth paying that extra $100 to make sure I'm surrounded by this.
I know that's right. Seriously, I'm trying to think the drag queens in Australia. I don't know that one.
what is
RuPaul's
that?
Drag Race Australia.
Not RuPaul's. Hold on a second.
That's the only one, though. But community, let us know what your song in the summer is. By the way, like what we missing? I feel like there ain't really out there besides Young Miami. Nothing else has really
I've
kind
been
of
kinda
gone
sleeping
viral
on
yet.
it. I've been kind of sleeping.
Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh, I've heard of it, never seen it.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it either.
No, I'm missing much, in my opinion.
Oh.
I like To Wong Fu.
I just now finally, when I just saw Rocky Horror Picture Show on Broadway like a month ago, that's the first time I've ever seen anything Rocky Horror before.
Really?
Like, I've never seen the movie. Like, I obviously it's been in pop culture long enough that like I know of it, but I nothing. I knew nothing about the show. I knew nothing except like let's do the time warp. That's the only thing I knew from that show. But had no context of what the fuck that song is even for or what it's about. Now you watch the show, you're like, okay, whatever. And honestly, I still don't know what the show really is about.
There's some gay classic. I feel like there are some gay classics out there that like I feel like I'm supposed to know, but I'm like, I ain't seen them.
No, Corey over the years has had to like put shit on because they're like, you ain't seen this? Oh, he's like, okay, you like Death Becomes Her. Never saw that until maybe I think it was like right before COVID when he's like, bitch, no, you about to watch this. Like, okay, sit your ass down. We watching this. It was cute, but there's a lot of stuff like that I have not seen at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my bad.
We introduced you to some John Waters films.
Oh my God. I was like, what the fuck is this? The Cha-Cha Hills. I'm like, what is this? And y'all, you and Adam and everybody, was it like just you and Adam? Or was it that Ugo and Milos too? I couldn't remember which year that was.
No, it was just the two of us.
Y'all were just cackling. Corey too. I'm like, what the? And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this movie?
I get to see you being like,
wild. I was like, this is
crazy.
I was like, oh my God, this is too much for me. Yeah. But anyway, but speaking of Death Becomes Her, shout out to Michelle and Torian. I know the show closed yesterday. Unfortunately, that's kind of sad to see it shut down. But I mean, they gave it a good 2-3 years, so I mean, good grief.
Facts.
But I'm sure there's probably some mixed emotions. Just like I'm sure you're like, bitch, I can finally take a nap.
Yeah, I mean, and 6 days a week though too. Like a weekend is a weekend again. Like.
Yeah,
you know,
for a little bit.
And I don't.
But
think
then there's probably like some anxiety too, just like, okay, what's my next thing too? You know, just like you have something so secure for so long that it's just like, what do I do next? Like,
but has it been
trying to
confirmed whether or not they're doing the national tour of it though?
I don't know
because it is going on a national tour starting next year. Because they've been releasing, released 10 or 12 cities that is going on a national tour. I don't know who's all part of the national tour. But
I'm looking it up here now. Okay, yeah, North American tour launches in fall of this year, September 12th in Cleveland. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if any of them are going on the national tour. A lot of times you kind of find that they don't, and they just kind of like stay in New York and try to find the next gig or whatever it may be. But who knows? Yeah. But yeah, shout out to them. It was a good ass show.
I absolutely loved it. That's the show that I would like to see. Yes. That's a show I would love to see if they recorded it, like go out on like the streaming services. Like I've seen like quite a few plays actually make it on Netflix from like the last year or two, and that would be one of them that I would love to see if they did that, to see it pop up on Netflix. I would absolutely enjoy that.
That's a show because they have intentionally included the audience as a part of the experience, and whether people know it or not, it's such a vibe just being there in person. And just like, I remember seeing it for the first time and we were all together and
no plot twist. You saw it first before us, didn't you?
It so did.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, look, let's. The real first time.
He was thinking we forgot, right? He thought we forgot.
She said the first time with me, and then it was the first time with y'all. That's how she did that.
I have to do the test run. Make sure this was worth it. But we were sitting all together, and I'm just like, I remember at a certain point, I stopped to look around the theater as the show had already been going on or whatever. And the amount of just smiles that were on people's faces, like literally my cheeks hurt. These on my face, not the other ones. But it hurt because it was just such a joy. And it had been, after having gone through COVID and, all the other kind of shenanigans that we've all been going through here in the United States, it was just so enjoyable to be in a space where you can just let loose, let go, give yourself into the whole experience, and just have a
gay
good
as
time.
fuck.
Yeah.
No, it was a good show. So shout out to Michelle and Tori, and again on that.
Absolutely unforgettable.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, Jerrell. I hope something of this original cast comes out that like we're able to kind of just savor for years to come on that. But we'll see. And then this last weekend was at Native Son Awards. So shout out to Native
baby,
Son.
You look good.
Thank
with
you.
your little sheer shirt on, bitch. I said, look at her. Give a little peekaboo.
And learned a lesson over the years because it gets so hot in there.
I mean,
but they had a
get us
venue
in a room
this
like
year.
That.
It was that right, and then we'll get to that. But this year they had it in a different venue. They had it at Pier 60, so like the Chelsea Piers, and it was so cold in that room. It takes a lot for me to be cold because I just run warm. It was so freezing in that room. I was like, oh my God, the wrong time to wear a fucking sheer shirt. But like even people in like jackets and stuff, like blazers and shit, they're like, it's fucking freezing in here. Like it was 500 people in this room. And that AC was pumping. So good job with the AC. Because I'd rather, I guess, be cold than like sweating. But it was so cold. So I was like, oh my God, the time that I learned my lesson, I wear a sheer shirt. And I'm freezing my ass off. But it was cool just like over the years just to kind of run into familiar faces, then obviously meet new faces and new friends and acquaintances and things like that. Guess who was there? And I was trying to get a chance to talk to him and
Jeremy
didn't.
Pope.
Oh God, I wish. No. Jussie Smollett.
Shut the fuck up.
Seriously. I was like, oh my God, I gotta talk to Jussie. I was like, oh my God, that'd be just full circle for the podcast. And literally the second that because he was just surrounded by people. And then he kind of so there's and how do I want to say this? Because there's just some folks that maybe are maybe quote unquote more known or more famous and things like that. And so they kind of congregated in a certain area and they all kind of were kind of mingling. And then literally the second I was like, okay, I think I got my window. That's when they said, okay, time to go sit down. So everybody started skirting around. I'm like, no. Because he was there, Karamo was there, Karamo Brown. So I was trying to get a chance to talk to him, didn't get a chance. Lena was there again. Hey, Lena, because Lena's on the board of Native Son. But yeah, I was like, damn, that would be so dope to get a picture with Jussie to put on here. I was trying so hard. But yeah,
he's the headlining act for Pride Harlem.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he's the headlining act for Pride Harlem. So
I did not know that.
And that's over there on 125th underneath the underneath the bridge. So
nice.
It's gonna be I think that's going to be a fantastic event. But
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I need to go to that with you one day, Kerel. One of these years, I'm gonna go with you.
It's a
and
great event.
Him right there. Yep.
Right.
Just
and then I got to see obviously Trey that we just had on here, so great to see him
Trey
in person.
Was there.
The Ron was there, all the natives, or natives, the series, folks are there. It's just cool, folks that we've had on the podcast, and kind of if we hadn't met them in person yet, seeing them in person and kind of putting that connection together. Other folks that I've just seen on social media. What's that show on Netflix? The Black. It's the Black family, and they got it's almost kind of queer and gay still, but oh God, it'll come to me. Black. I'll look it up in a second here. One of the lead people from that show was there. That motherfucker is so fucking fine. I
don't know who you're talking about.
Right.
Who?
Hold on. Let me look it up now.
You know that person, and he is. And that
many
motherfucker is
black
fine.
shows on Netflix now.
But I mean, you're not wrong. But still, I'm like, who?
What is this?
Really watching Netflix that anymore? To be honest,
I don't be knowing these people's names. This dude. I don't know if it's coming in clear. Did they tag him? Yeah. Oh, his name is Terrell Carter.
Oh, Terrell Carter. Oh,
that motherfucker.
Okay, wait. How have you not seen him? Because he lived in Chicago for the longest time. I used to run into him in Chicago all the time. Because remember, he also used to be in the Medea place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The boy can sing. He is fine.
fine, like probably like 6'3", had his like chest all out, like you see the chest. Oops,
yeah.
There's a video. Chest all out. Everybody was like, "Oh, y'all see?" Like everybody was talking about him, like in a room of just fine ass people.
Yeah.
Even the fine ass people was looking at this motherfucker like that motherfucker fine.
I heard he wrote a book, and his book is very interesting.
Oh, really? What makes it interesting? Why you say it like that?
About his upbringing and who his parents are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Queen Cryptic.
Right, exactly. Spill the tea. Okay. We got a podcast. We can talk about it.
We just saw the Disclosure movie. We got to do this on a podcast too? Damn. Will you disclose?
Right. Like,
no,
who was his parents?
From the problem child. I want a true story in American. I gotta find it. When we go into the Ask Your Auntie, and I got a few seconds, I'll find it. But apparently some shit happened in the family, and the way he was born was just some interesting stuff. And yeah,
oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he fine. Beauty in Black is the name of the show. There we go. Beauty in Black. I knew it was something black in the title.
Yeah, I never watched
Beauty in Black. So anyway, but Native Son, shout out to Emil, is again, it was the 10th anniversary of it. So just to have someone of his stature still care to put something on like this, because I'm sure it's a lot of fucking work, a lot of headache, a lot of. And to still care and try to up the ante every year, and still to be able to provide flowers to a lot of the folks in our community that look like us, sound like us, love like us. Thank you, Emil, because you don't have to do this, and he does. Like, he already had the clout in the industry. He already had the notoriety in the industry before all of this. He didn't need to do this, but he cares to provide lanes and opportunity for us to be seen and loved on. So it was dope. And the see for the 10th anniversary, they kind of had a moment to kind of give him praise and to give his flowers while he could still smell it and things like that. And just to see him crying and things like that, like it was just touching. And just to be in a room full of just like black queer men predominantly, but just black queers and allies. Tamron Hall was there, and
was she
pretty as shit in person. Like, she walked right past me. I was like, I love you, Tamron. Pretty. Like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, this lady is gorgeous. But like, Cynthia was there again this year. She was there last year. It was just another good time, just another good event. And then they had kind of like the after party this year. That was a newer thing that they did. So they had like a DJ, and then they had like drinks flowing, little kind of like burgers and fries and ice cream and little stands and stuff like that. So again, it was just cool to just, especially on Juneteenth this year, just the special of that day, just to be in a room full of black people like that. It was everything I needed. It was great. It was great.
I found the blurb about his book, by the way. So his book is called Problem Child, and it's his true story. And part of the story is about how he was born to his 11-year-old mother, who was raped and molested by his dad, who was 26. His mother also happened to be special needs and a one-leg amputee at birth as well, too.
Wow.
Like, yeah, girl.
That's not what I was thinking.
That was not on my bingo card.
I know it was not. Now you see why I wanted to get it correct, right? Where I was like, let me find the blurb about the book real quick before I mislead some shit.
Yeah. What in the dice roll was that?
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I can't even make that one up.
No, you can't. That's what I was like, because I actually wanted to read his book, because I love reading books and I love reading a lot of queer artists, and so when I read the blurb about his book, I was like, shit, like I gotta read this, but life's been lifing, so now I'm gonna put this. I put it in my little Amazon wish list.
His life been lifing,
baby.
Good freak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And while we're shouting him out, he got a new song called Candy out too. So I'm just gonna put that out there. So we're gonna start. Okay. We're gonna end with something positive. Okay. Hey. So I ain't heard it yet. I'm gonna play it after this. Okay. It was on his website. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. But yeah, no, he was fine.
I wanted to ask y'all a question. Have y'all been watching the World Cup at all?
Not as much as I thought I was going to. Like, I just haven't been home. It feels like since I was in New York and then came so I haven't just had time to concentrate on it.
I ain't give two shits about no damn soccer. But with this shit in Seattle, bitch, when I tell y'all, I'm a fan. They didn't hook the Negro. They didn't got me. I'm so sign me up. I'm gonna be watching this shit every 4 years.
he said I ain't gonna watch MLS though.
No,
he said they ain't hook me. Just every 4 years. Just every 4.
Bitch, when I tell you it's good, and also there are some fine ass men who be playing soccer. Yeah, I'm like,
and there's some fine ass fans. When I was at the train station. So when I went to New York, Brazil was playing here in Philly, and all them Brazilians was in the train station. I was like, damn, I picked the wrong weekend to go to New York.
Baby, Australia was here last week.
Here.
And baby, the way I was hearing none but Australian accents left and right, bitch. I almost left with a cone because I was like, girl, I can't turn no more. My radius is shot, girl. Look, it's a whole body pivot at this point because
I know that's right.
It was a time. And also what I've been loving is just seeing in the media, just like how much people have been having fun. Just like seeing people from other countries come here and experience America for the first time. And also watching America be like, we got company, you know, act right like you got some sense. And the amount of people who I've seen be like, oh yeah, like I'm here from Australia, and this person, like, it was raining and they drove me 45 minutes to my hotel because it was 2 hours to get there via bus, and it was just a random person. I was like, oh, I'll take you. And they were just like the nicest thing. And even with Scotland donating $30,000 after they drank all of Boston out of beer. Like, that is
Boston
crazy
lager
shit.
Like, of all cities, you would think it would have some beer.
Drank Boston out some damn beer.
You know,
but then it was like, here's $10,000. And here's another $10,000 to teach kids how to play soccer, and another $10,000 to teach kids how to play the bagpipes. I said, you know what? I know that's fucking right. It's been such a good time.
And here's what I
being
hope
a whole city has been so much fun.
I hope the lesson for America is that, oh, wow, we are all closer together than we aren't. Because it's always America on some fucking bullshit that the rest of the world is beneath us and this and that. And it ain't us that look like, you know who it is that be saying it. It ain't us. But I hope that it took something this massive to show the kindness of the world towards us, even when they shouldn't be nice to us. And that we still have it in us to be kind to our neighbors in the world. And that it's not going to like belittle us. It's not going to lessen us at all to be kind to the world. So that's what I hope comes out of this, and hopefully it sustains when the winner is crowned. But yeah, it is kind of nice to see the joy out of it right now. Yeah, that I was kind of worried going into it, quite frankly.
Well, when they saw the stat that like all of the stadiums that are hosting in the U.S. are in blue cities, with the exception of Miami. Every city in the U.S. is a blue city. So, to some degree, like, still in the bubble because we're in the cities mostly where people, you know, understand the world is bigger than just the U.S. You know, for the most part. But like here in Seattle, when we had the Australia game and the U.S. game here, there was only 4 arrests the whole damn day. 4 arrests. 2 was because they for trespassing, and then another 2 were for like drinking under the age or some shit like that. But other than that, there was like 0 fights. People were behaving. No shit was vandalized or broken or any of the rest of that stuff. And it was just nothing but a good time. Now, here's one thing that America has also fucked me up on. Being in large crowds like that, let one thing pop off. And I just answered, like, I was like, this is how people get trampled to death. I was sitting there, like, outside, and I was like, if anything happened, I'm dead. Like, there's no room. And I pride myself on being fast. I can run. I'm like, bitch, I'm gone. Bitch, I'm gonna run. Bitch, I'm gonna run.
You can't go anywhere.
Ain't going nowhere. I was like, well.
And let somebody step on a shoelace. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It was fun while I lasted.
Bloop, bloop, and then you become part of the pavement.
Yeah, but it's pavement. But it was funny. I went to the game downtown, and my friend Zach was with me, and he was like, he paused, he grabbed me, and he was like, those are the Seattle Sounder players right there, and like 6 of them.
I saw you took a
past.
picture of somebody.
Yeah, and they were outside watching the game with everybody else, just like regular ass dudes. Yeah. And I was like, "You mean them white people right there? Them?" I was like, "The more you know, the more you know." Right. So then we're circling back and we're about to leave, and I was like, "Oh, there he is. You want to take a picture real quick?" He's like, "Yep, okay." Boom. Didn't even know the man. Yeah. Took the photo. Still didn't know his name, but I just knew that was somebody to take a photo with. I was like, "What?" Just say I did.
Will you ever know?
Sure won't.
Will you ever know it? Yeah. Yeah, no, it is cool to see that we can behave, I guess, sometimes. So
yeah,
we'll see. But and then lastly, before we get to Ask Your Aunteas here, Serena's in Wimbledon singles. Serena is in Wimbledon singles, so that just means my anxiety and my stress level in July is gonna be high.
It's gonna be hot and high. It's gonna be hot and high. I just. Also,
and the thing is, I'm gonna be in PV for most of the beginning of that tournament. So, golly, I ain't trying to be on vacay stressed out. Damn it, Serena.
I am just I'm a low key little man. I was like, bitch, why you couldn't do this shit last year? Why you couldn't do that shit last year when I was already planning on being there? I was like,
we know why.
She was busy.
She was trying to get into shape. She said, "Working ain't do it."
And low key, she was probably having issues at home trying to get old boys straightened away. We didn't even know.
Look,
anyway.
Now you heard what I said last week.
Like, let me get out of this house before
right. She's like, let me go back to singles.
In both ways.
right.
In both ways.
You told Hoppo to beat me? No. Let me go on.
Go rain on your
swing
head.
this racket before I swing something else.
Baby. Amen.
I mean, it is giving revenge body just a little bit. Because you know how people, when they start going in separate ways, one person starts getting it together, just.
I mean,
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. And on that note, we're going to take us a tea break before we get ourselves in trouble.
Let us see one picture of her and Common together, and we know it's a wrap.
Be like, sorry, J Hood. Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minority Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jerrell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at minorityReport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. All righty, ladies. We haven't done this in a minute, so what time is it? Ask your
auntie. Let's go. Oh my God, it has been a minute.
It has. And who wants to read it?
Oh, that was fun.
I will read it.
Okay.
It says, how would each of you react in this scenario? Your best friend of 15 plus years meets a guy. They end up getting married. Y'all become cool, but the person has shady tendencies. You end up calling out the husband on an issue. Now the husband is in his feelings and starting to manipulate the best friend to pull back from hanging out, messaging, etc. What would y'all do? Spill the tea.
That's easy for me. Deuces. All right, nothing to talk about. Like to
the friendship. You're in the friendship, or like
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not up to me. You choose whether the friendship. Like if we're friends, I'm gonna ride with you and I'm gonna ride for you. So you can expect no shenanigans on my part. So if I'm calling something out, it's coming from a place of love and I want the best. But if y'all are not in a place to receive it, there's nothing I can do about that. And I'm not about to fight. First of all, I don't fight. I'm a little too old and these knees too brittle. So that's not going to happen. But I'm going to have to let it go. You know, like not that I'm going to sit up here and quote the Bible a lot, but like when the Bible says, you know, you cleave, you know, you move away from your parents, you cleave to your spouse, that's what you do because that becomes your number one. When you have a best friend, you know, their partners, they're number one. They ride for them. So I get it. But also, I ain't going to be hanging around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Right. That's funny. Yeah, like I mean, it's tough. It's tough, like because like part of you's mourning that friendship because like it's like damn, that was my bestie in a Tessie, you know, like 15 years, and I agree. It's just like once friends and people get in relationships, I get it. That's you're choosing your partner to kind of be your number one, so it kind of puts you in a hard spot, and I mean I'm kind of thinking of both sides. Like if I was like the writer that wrote this in, yeah, I'd probably have to just pull back because I don't want to put my friend in a situation where they gotta like there's arguments between my spouse and my bestie, and I was like, because ain't nobody got time for all that shit. And it's not.
That's a lot.
That's too much. It's not that deep. Come on now.
That's for young people.
But
we ain't got nothing else
it
going
really
on
kind
in
of
their life.
is. It really kind of is. But it's just like I get that you're gonna choose your spouse or your partner, your lover. I've called out the tendencies that I'm seeing. You see how he's reacting. So this is how I'm gonna react by pulling back. Like I don't want to cause any more strife or rift for you to cause you pain. I said what I had to say, and it is what it is at this point. So it's just like I'll see you when I see you around. You know, like let's grab dinner sometime. But like it's got to shift into a different season of your relationship with the bestie. Quite frankly, it's like I don't know if I'd be like deuces, like I'm never talking to you again. But it's just like it can't be the same. It can't be the same.
Also,
so my option
can I
is to
just
step back
interject for a second because for me, if we're talking about my best friend or a person that I've been cool with, I'm not addressing the husband.
Yeah, usually.
So I feel like
that
that's
true too.
I mean, to me, like you know, you address a situation when there's kind of like a mutual agreement that you know we can do that. You know, like I know you like that. I mean, it's one thing to like call somebody out on something they said kind of wild or whatever. That's one thing, but I'm not getting the sense that that's what's going on in this scenario. So like, to me, it was a little bit of a faux pas to like address some kind of a major concern with that person. I would be like, you know, hey sis, you know what your dude said, probably not cool. You know, rub me the wrong way. I'm not trying to like get into anybody's business. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I've
had to do that before. We're like, I ain't like, and went to like my friend. I was like, I don't like how old boy said X, Y, Z. Just letting you know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Do with it what you will, but this is where I kind of stand, and I ain't fucking with him right now. Is what it is.
That's where the scenario kind of like it twinges for me because like if it was a situation where, and again, I'm just putting myself in the writer of this scenario's shoes. If I was that person and I felt strong enough that I wanted to go to that person and have a sis-to-sis conversation with them, a one-on-one, man-to-man conversation about, that was something that was fucked up or whatever, then I would also then expect that it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to go right or it's going to go left. And if it goes left, in this scenario, I would know that going into it because you already have the inkling about how this person rolls because they already have shady tendencies. So to me, it's almost kind of like you then have to expect that if it does go left, that it's going to compromise the friendship that you have with your friend. And you have to say, I just have to be comfortable with that.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think, Jerrell? How would you handle that situation?
I agree with you both. The conversation is between the writer and the friend at the end of the day. And the reason being is because it's the 15 years of having friendship and being best friends, of being in each other's lives. In 15 years, you've changed at least once. Like there has, hopefully, because some people don't. There should have been some growth should have happened, right?
Yeah.
And to have someone who have seen you in different seasons or stages of your life, those folks tend to be rare, So out of respect to that 15 years, if you are best friends and you value your friendship after 15 years, you owe it to the both of y'all to have a conversation with each other, because that's the 15 years, right?
Yeah.
But to Dawon's point, I would expect, either to go left or right. If you're not having the conversation, that means that your friend isn't going to hear it. And that means that your friend has those tendencies to just be like, that's my man, my man, my man, my man. And if that's the case, then like Kerel said, I'll see you when I see you. It ain't worth having the conversation, right? But then at the same point, though, if that's your friend of 15 years, then you should know that. And you probably been through this already before. So, if it quacks like a duck, it works like a duck. It's a motherfucking duck, But if this is new uncharted waters, have the conversation with the friend and just be honest and be like, hey, this don't sit right with me. In my 15 years, if I've never done any shady shit to you, if my resume, my receipts as your motherfucking best friend speak for itself, this nigga who dicking you down for 8 months ain't got shit on me. The math ain't mathin', And if you can't put two and two together, that means then clearly we don't see this friendship the same way that I see it. And at this point, it's not even about what you decide. I'm actually just removing myself out of it, because I'm not going to give someone best friend or that type of feeling or attention or time who ain't even trying to respect how I feel. Like if I have to explain to myself why I should matter to you and how I feel should matter to you, then we weren't doing shit for 15 years, if I'm being honest.
What are we doing?
15 years.
Just wasting time.
Princess points. Toss them. Bring it back to Wong Fu, So
You toss it like Issa tossed that baby.
Girl, okay.
You can't do that.
So I say this to say I have had friends who get in relationships, and yes, they do end up being in relationships, and friendships, start to separate, and that stuff happens. But I know that I've also had friends who have gotten in relationships, got married, and I've still been part of and we've still been friends, right? At the end of the day, it's a choice between that person you call your best friend, and if they're not choosing you, choose yourself, and keep it moving.
Exit stage left. Yeah.
I mean, friendships are kind of like relationships. You got to pour into them, just like you do in a relationship. It ain't about having sex or hooking up. It's just about making time, having respect, and giving grace to each other, just like you would in a regular relationship that you're romantic with, right? So if they can give that to their partner, and if in order to give it to their partner, they have to take away what they were given to you, that means it was kind of under conditions. It was never yours to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would also say it's like with 15 years, it's just going to come as a level of emotion of it. So maybe even take a half a second just to like get your thoughts and feelings together, because it'll be easy to maybe go back to your friend and be like, bitch, I've been your friend for 15 years. And like that energy is because you're hurt, in it. And so like whatever you do, like going back to your friend or whatever, just explaining your situation. And maybe that's the question to you all is like, if you come to this conclusion, do you owe it to your friend to be like, hey, this is why I'm stepping back? Or do you just step back and let them figure out for themselves? But it's just like, and we'll answer that in a second, but it's just like, if you are going to have that conversation, just at least maybe control the emotional part of it, because it can be easy to get over emotional because you care. So that's just maybe the watch out, and not make it worse than it already kind of is, and saying some things that you're just saying out of emotion more than what you
keep saying this word emotion. I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Well, you up to about 6 or 7 now. A little bit. bit.
That's called growth.
Right. What is that?
It grew once.
Right. Exactly. But like, do you feel like he or they or whomever this is owes it to their friend to be like, if they decide to step back, explain the reasoning, or do you just step back?
No, see, I think you do. I think you do. Don't call me your best friend. Don't be in my life for 15 years and all of a sudden you ghost me. Like that's the shit. Like that's the thing that I hate about ghosting is that it made people punks. It made people punk, aka pussies, or weak motherfuckers who can't have a conversation. But like, this chapter of my life is closed and I moved on. That is okay. It is okay to be like, hey, you know what we had. I love it and I adore it and I appreciate it. But now this is where my life is taking me. Now this is where my energy is. And this is where I'm putting my focus on. And it's going to look a lot different between what we were doing. That is okay to say those things, right? Like the idea.
And it's okay for the friendship with the partner, honestly, as well. It can be both ways.
You know? Right. So I don't think you can call yourself besties, Judies, sis. It kind of like when we had the guys on for Messy Pod, you know, when we were talking about, you know, acquaintance versus friends, you know, like
and buddies,
you know, buddies, you know, like I think maybe people get, I think sometimes people forget giving people certain titles still mean something. And if you're going to call someone a Judy, a sis, then you should treat them as such. And if you do, then this is what you're supposed to do, which is to have that conversation and respect, you know, they'll be like, okay, well, you know, I appreciate it. I feel you. I love you down. And, you know, I'll see you when I see you. And that's our right.
Yeah. I think also it's okay to recognize that sometimes you can have a relationship and or a friendship that is so meaningful, but it can come to an end, and it doesn't dishonor the experiences that you shared with each other. It doesn't diminish all the good times and the memories that you created with one another, the laughters, the tears, the da 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 da. But in some instances, you know, people make choices that are beyond the context of that friendship that you have. And that could be, you know, that person, your best friend, choosing their man, regardless of their bad behavior over their relationship with you. And you know, it's not to say that that feelings don't get involved or hurt or, you know, there's a sadness or grief about it. You know, those things are natural. But also, you know, I think part of growing into more mature relationships with whomever, whether it's you know, sexual, romantic, platonic, whatever, but relationships that are meaningful for you is, number one, having the courage to honor that relationship by having, you know, all kinds of conversations, good, bad, and the ugly, right? For the purpose of continued alignment and growth and support of one another, not just argue just for the sake of arguing, because that becomes, you know, a little bit on the toxic side. But then also recognizing that there's times where, you know, things don't serve you as an individual anymore. And those things can be temporary, you know, until this blows over. You know, I'm just going to protect my peace and do, you know, my thing. And, you know, maybe we can come back and, you know, the door's not always closed, or it doesn't have to always be closed. But, you know, it could just be like, you know, I'm recognizing this is what this situation is. And,
nice,
you know, I'm not
I done moved houses and changed the locks. What you mean, the door ain't
I mean, look, you're talking to the cutoff queen over here.
You go through that door. Go through the door again, bitch. You end up in Narnia. Okay, right. Play if you want to.
But you know, that's the friendship contract that I have. People know, like, you know, I'm gonna be there for you 100%. And the minute that becomes disrespected, that the institution of our relationship becomes disrespected. You know, we can kiki and kaka and have misunderstandings, but what I'm not going to do is disrespect, and what you're not going to do is disrespect. Absolutely. And when that happens,
can we also normalize, though, too, and I think this is a part of the conversation as well, you know, your man and your friends don't got to be friends. Like, I think maybe that's part of
for the people in the
part of the answer as well too. Like, maybe you just be like, hey, I don't fuck with your man, girl, I love you, and it is what it is. Like, let's still be friends, but I just don't want to be around him, you know, or they just don't get along. Like, that is totally A-okay as well too. Like, it doesn't always have to be an ultimatum. Like, now if the partner is being fucked up to you, then you need to excuse yourself, right? But if you just, if y'all two just ain't vibing, y'all just don't fuck with each other, that's totally fine. I wouldn't make my friend choose between their man and me, right? Because if I'm a ride or die friend, then I'm like, bitch, you grown. You gonna do what you gotta do. I'm not dating him. I'm not fucking him. I'm not feeding him, clothing him, housing him, none of that shit. That's on you. So I'm good, you know? Like, and don't get me wrong, like Fizz and I, we have friends together, but I also have friends that I just hang out without him as well too. And that's just also because they are different people on top of that too, right? So it's just like, it would make, no one would be happy. No one wins. Like, no, I don't want that. Girl, I'm tired. I mean, run over here entertaining you, then run over here entertaining you. No, divide and conquer. Just individual time. So maybe that's maybe that's another option. You just simply say, hey, we hang out. And when you got time, me and you will hang out. We can have a stand-in, like Dawon, you and the girls got y'all Thursday drinks, right? Maybe you have a weekend. Hey, this is me and you time. This is Bestie time. This same day, every single day of the week, every Wednesday. Let's go get drinks.
Yep.
Boom.
I agree.
You know, and then you sprinkle in other things, birthdays, trips, etc. when they can. But have a just standing weekly Bestie night, and be like, look. And if you can't make one night out of 7. Then again, we're going back to the previous conversation. You weren't that friend to begin with.
This is the concept of, choosing, peace over violence. You know, like there are so many options,
which is so hard to
people
do,
have accessible to themselves as a way to choose peace instead of the drama, the violence, the da-da-da-da-da. And I don't mean violence as in fist fighting, but, just like...
That's the hardest thing about getting older is I have to choose peace. Like, sometimes I want to act a fool and I'm like, damn, I wish I was 22 still. Because I want to choose violence.
That's, this that growth. That's that growth. It's, it's part of getting older, but also,
He's like, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
When you experience those kind of relationships, the benefit of those kind of like, that chosen family that where you choose them, they chose you, and that you have that mutual respect.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I really don't want to live in that space of, I want to fight, but at the end of it, it's like, I know what's at stake, so I'm going to choose the right thing.
Yeah.
This is a good question though. So I almost want to. Whoever sent this in, give us an update how the conversation went. We rarely get the updates. Every once in a while we get an update, but we want an update on this one.
I do want an update.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on.
And I think every 15 years it's worth to kind of figure it out. But send your Ask Your Aunteas questions.
I want to know what kind of behavior got called out on.
Right. What's the tendencies?
What was the tendencies? What was getting underneath your bonnet so much that you had to,
write it in. Say it. I got to ask the aunties. Send your question to aya@minorityreport.com or DM us or send it to the T line. And what's that number, Dawon?
844-T-LINE or 844-832-5463.
Love it. I love it, man. I missed the Ask Your Aunteas segment. We just don't get as many anymore. But for the newer folks, I mean, there's folks that have rocked with us for a long time. They're like, we already kind of grown now. You answered a few of the urgent questions over the years. But for y'all new folks,
their lives. We didn't download the community.
Exactly. Even though auntie the community. So, fixing lives one cousin at a time. But send them on in. And before we get out of here, because we haven't talked about Drag Race, and next week we might not get to it, but it's cool. What I realized about this season right now, it's cool to see a lot of the older queens just showing how these younger queens, how drag is done. Like I said before the season, that I love Kennedy Davenport. Kennedy Davenport is showing why she's like, the drag queens are drag queens. She just gets it, and it's good ass TV.
That
RuPaul loves the energy. And that lip sync is going to be in the upper echelons of lip sync. That's going to be one that people go back to again.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see that, and I'm like, oh, this is why I love drag. This is drag to me, darling. This is drag.
High drag.
I would say
high drag, as Latrice Royale said.
Exactly.
High drag.
Yeah, and in the second episode of Bracket 3, I was just like blown away. I was like, hey, this is an all-star cast. I was like, everyone had a great rap and roast. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I thought Joey J did the best out of everybody.
I did too.
I was surprised.
And to start out the way she did, I was sitting there like, bitch. What? What? Yeah.
Joy J. Did you know Joy J is 35 years old? I thought Joy was like in the mid-20s. So I was like, see, it's just again the season.
I thought she was older than that.
Oh,
See, okay.
Damn.
Why do we have to go to a conversation about age? As we're giving flowers. With our old ass.
you ate, sis, but I thought your old ass was older. Your old ass ate.
If anything, Joey has really been kind of like the phoenix of this bracket for sure,
agree.
because, you know, albeit we didn't see a lot of, you know, his personality in his season, we get to see all his personality, all of his, you know, you can just, he's settled in who he is, and he's funny as shit. Like, he reminds me of them old gays that, like, you know, came out of, like, you know, the Martha P. Wash, you know, like the old gays that used to be up in the bars with the martinis
Over there at Julius's and shit.
Exactly. Like he just has that kind of a spirit, which is beautiful to see because it's so counter to kind of the superficial, you know, like, you know, yes, gaga, la, 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 all that kind of bullshit. It's so nice to see somebody who's really using their wit in a clever way. When RuPaul was like, I can like everything except for those gold buttons. What are the things that you like on your outfit?
The gold buttons.
Gold buttons. It was fire. Fire.
I fuck with some Joey.
1000%. I agree. So it's dope to just see this season come along, and it's just gonna make the semifinal. Like, if obviously by the time this episode comes out, Community will know like who's moving on to semifinals. But say if it is like a Kennedy Davenport that moves on, and I don't know who else in this bracket. It could really come down to anyone at this point. Still, the semifinals are going to be crazy at the sheer level of just drag that a lot of these queens have had. Like, they have been in the game for a minute. Like an Acaria,
wild card,
a Silky, a Kennedy, right? And plus a wild, like that's great TV, and I can't wait to see it. Quite frankly,
like,
I know people,
but you know what? The snatch
iffy.
game is going to happen in that semifinals, and that's where I think we're going to see a separation again between tops and bottoms as far as the All-Star and the semi. And the semi. That's where a lot of people sink or swim.
Falter.
I showed Raphael. I had to introduce Raphael to Little Richard because, you know, he doesn't know a lot about American culture and all that kind of stuff. So I introduced him to Little Richard, said, I got to show you this because he's not into Drag Race, not into, you know, all that kind of stuff. But he watched the episode with me and he totally got into it. So I was like, okay, now I need to show you the snatch game where she was Little Richard. I was like, hold up, I gotta show you who Little Richard is first. So I had to find a couple of clips, you know, that gave a sense of his personality. I found this. You
gotta show him that Arsenio Hall clip.
That's exactly the one that I showed him. That one, and then the one where he was at the Grammys and like, they never gave me anything. So I said, just keep that in mind as we watch this. And he watched it and he was just like, bawling. He was laughing so much. Kennedy's performance in that was like iconic. when what's his face was Adele sitting right next to him. And Ginger Minge was Adele, sitting right next to Kennedy Davenport as Little Richard, and they're doing the woo, and then you know how Ginger Minge always kind of like jumps in on everybody else, so she started singing a note. She goes, "Wrong note, honey. Shut up, shut up."
It's just so good. It's just so good. So it's just interesting how the queens always say, "Oh, you back for the third time, the fourth time," because they're fucking good. They're not gonna be asked if they ain't fucking good. Your ass is just salty. You ain't gonna get asked 4 times.
And by the way, they get paid for that. So what queen is not gonna turn down a gig in this economy?
That part.
Like, let's be clear.
That part.
You know,
and if RuPaul, the queen of drag, asks your ass to come back, and you say no too many times, okay, play around if you want to.
I hope the calendar is booked. I hope the fees are fat. Because
there's only gonna be so many times that she's gonna say, "Come on back."
Far be it from me to turn down a check,
baby.
You only need me for about 3 episodes. I'll be there.
Yeah. So it's just been good. It's just been cool to see, just like, and obviously like the spectrum of drag again. But I just love that we're seeing some of these quote unquote older queens, even though it would be my age, coming back and showing us some of that.
Like that.
Right, that George, right. of that almost that yesteryear, because it was just, I feel like, and I think RuPaul's Drag Race has realized that it had gotten to the point where it was like a lot of Instagram queens, a lot of just one note. And to have a season like this again, to show the multitude of notes, is a beautiful thing. So yeah.
I have to say, I really appreciate the bracket format, because this is where the competition really comes to life. You know, you really get to see how the queens not only perform, but how they compete. And it's not cut or dry, because a lot of it has to deal with, you know, the social dynamics of who's going to get what kind of things and where the alliances land and who's going to, you know, forget about the alliances, even though they said they were doing it. Hi, Silky, you know. So
that was good TV.
It makes some really, really great TV watching for sure.
Exactly. So, well, community, hopefully you enjoyed Pride Month. I know we're getting out of it, and it's like getting to the 4th of July and all that stuff. So another just like a vacay day or whatever potentially for folks. Hopefully you're safe and sound out there, enjoying your summer. And it's crazy to say the year's all more than halfway over. It's crazy. Like behind the scenes, we're already talking about like, oh shit, we got to start thinking about like best of clips and Christmas clips. Like it's bizarre to start thinking about that this early.
Now getting
that's
hot.
how it is. But this year's flying by. But anything else on your hearts and minds before we get out of here?
No, just y'all pray for me, girl. This time it comes out, I'll be over doing gay games for the first time.
Yes.
She a little nervous.
Stretch, hydrate, because last time you participated in some gay shit, you kicked with broken legs and shit.
But it was a couple hairline fractures. You're right. But to be fair, it wasn't me. I literally had a big ass man follow me. So again, it wasn't. I was doing so much. Someone fell on me.
I'm just saying, make sure you stretch and hydrate her, girl. We need you back in one piece.
But yeah, there's over 10,000. There's over 10,000
Pride.
athletes. Like
10,000.
There's over 10,000 athletes.
That's a lot of sex.
Yeah, it's about
That's
to
a lot
be
of advances.
crazy. I'm so excited.
Ooh, I
so
can't wait for the
excited.
stories. Text us. Text us some stories and some pictures. And on that note, community, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.